morning, everybody. Good morning, it's JPR, and welcome back to another video. Pokemon box art. I know, at first glance, not very interesting. It's not exactly the top of my list of things to chat about with the boys around the campfire. In fact, most of them look exactly the same as far as the mainline games go. But hey, those aren't the only Pokemon games in existence. Ironically, the spin-off games actually kind of kick butt at delivering some good box art every once in a while. And plus, I'm a bit of an old school gamer myself. As someone who enjoys collecting physical copies of games and marveling at good artwork, I think it's always worth praising the good ones and sometimes wondering what could have gone better for the others. So in this video, I'll be looking over some examples of my favorite and least favorite box arts and logos throughout the history of Pokemon. Let's get started. Okay, let me get the obvious out of the way. Who doesn't love the box art of the original Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game? Don't answer that, I might have to block you. This is by far the best way to pull off a dual version box art. Have it connect between the two. It's remarkably simple, actually. The red rescue team fell into a hole and is about to be beat up by Team Meanies, and the blue rescue team is there at the top to help them out, while Team ACT gives them chase from across the land, reflecting an important plot point in the game. Very nice, it shows off the whole premise of the game, which is rescuing other Pokemon. That, or it's a metaphor for the Nintendo DS owners looking down on the lowly Game Boy Advance peasants, subtly making you feel bad for not buying Nintendo's latest console. Okay, probably not, but realistically it could be a reference to the dual screen capabilities of the Nintendo DS, as this was the first big Pokemon game to hit the DS other than Pokemon Dash, which we will never talk about other than in passing on this channel. Maybe I'm just looking too far into this, but those Nintendo goons are crafty. You never know until you know, but I don't know. And now that we've looked at a good box art, let's take a look at a bad one, like Pokemon Dash. Gosh dang it, I really did just bamboozle myself there. Now, I love Ken Sugimori as much as the next guy, and his artwork here is fantastic, but the general design of this box art, it's really nothing special. This is just basic box art design with all the characters vomited onto it. Also, it tells me literally nothing about the game, like, yeah, the Pokemon run, tell me something I didn't know. Why are the colors so muted? This is uncharacteristically dull looking by Pokemon standards. On top of that, the logo is just bad. It's literally Pokemon subtitle Dash. It's not like Mystery Dungeon where the logo is all tied up nice and pretty, like Dash is just kind of floating in space down here. Not much else to say, it's pretty boring in my opinion. Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia. Now, this is a good one. Nice unified logo boldly presented in the center. You've got your protagonists and basic partner Pokemon at the bottom, while your more threatening challenges loom overhead. Lucario, get down from there, you're gonna hurt yourself. And finally, Darkrai lurking in the very back. This is my favorite element. Despite essentially being this game's mascot, Darkrai isn't front and center. He's watching from the shadows, exactly like a Darkrai would do. It's a weird subversion of expectations to not feature him as prominently, but it fits because that's what Darkrai does. I like it! And the cherry on top is just this nice regional artwork in the background. It would have been so much easier to just plop the standard art of Almia in, but instead we get this nice cool artwork that's not seen anywhere else. Now let's take a look at some core series box arts. Yeah, like I said earlier, most of them are like 85% the same format, but you'd be amazed at how much of a difference that 15% can make. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were the first Pokemon Switch games to get an official box with art on it, and to say yikes is an understatement. Once again, like Pokemon Dash, the actual character artwork is pretty nice here. The partner Pikachu and partner Eevee, despite having relatively simplistic designs, have some really nice detailed artwork here. But man, they are way too close to take up the most room on a Switch box I've ever seen. I mean, how else am I gonna appreciate the... Wait, is that the Windows XP wallpaper again? What were they going for with this? Did they just say, yup, that is an accurate representation of the Kanto region. Right-click, save. The logo, it's nice. The artwork, it's great, but this background is the most uninspired thing I've ever seen. But wait, if you crack open a Nintendo Switch box, usually you get another nice piece of complimentary artwork on the inside cover. Breath of the Wild, you're looking out towards the adventure, and now you're on the adventure. Xenoblade, original artwork from the Wii game on the outside, new content artwork on the inside. Smash Ultimate, this is already one of the greatest video game covers I've ever seen, and then you open it up and it really drives home the everyone is here theme with all the fighters in the base game lined up in their respective order. Let's Go Pikachu, you open it up, oh look, it's Kanto again, now I'm excited. But to be fair, at least this art looks good. There is an even worse offender out there. Yup, it's Pokemon Sword and Shield. I can't believe it, this game was bashed and nitpicked for everything under the sun, but I hardly saw a single person actually point out how much of a war crime this box art is. I know some people like this because it's relatively minimalist, and yeah, some people like driving white cars and eating plain cheese pizza. It's not for me. Plus, the core series box arts were already pretty minimalist if you ask me. Now it just almost feels like they're going too far. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl look simplistic, but at least they look pretty and have this shining, starry aesthetic, letting you know these legendary Pokemon have some sort of cosmic connection. Pokemon X also has a relatively minimalist box design, but the gentle forest lighting and the plant life tell you everything you need to know about Xerneas. It's not a grass type, but it is the Pokemon of life. These stupid blue and red gradients tell me nothing about Zacian, Zamazenta, or the game itself. At least Let's Go's box art warned me that it would be boring. Crack the case open and oh look, another regional map. It's not some cool unique design that you would see literally nowhere else. It's something you could find on Google Images in 2 seconds. But for an example of a Switch game done right, look no further than Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Again, this box art loosely references the original games. Of course, they're combined in the Switch remake, so it had to be altered a bit. And if you open it up, you get all the cute little Pokemon faces that everyone loves. I was honestly just expecting one of the stock images from the title screen or a camp area, but this very nicely embodies the charm of Mystery Dungeon. I like it, and it shows that not every Switch game has to use the same general box art design approach. And while we're still on good Mystery Dungeon box art, I really like Super Mystery Dungeon as well. I just love the triumphant look of all the starter Pokemon in their various forms overlooking their next adventure from the cliff. This is exactly the kind of artwork I'd expect from a game called Super, the ultimate culmination of the series with all Pokemon from Gens 1 through 6 being present. In the background, we have the Yggdrasil-like tree pattern along with a blue and red gradient that subtly references Pokemon XY, the main games of that generation. And it looks even better after happened. I haven't mentioned it yet, but when it comes to slapping 3D models in a box versus good old 2D illustrations, I'll take 2D almost every time. This has so much more character in it than its predecessor. There's one last pair of core series games that I'd like to discuss, those being Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Now, the regular box art is nothing to write home about, but bear with me, and this might be considered cheating, but Heart Gold and Soul Silver do have alternate versions of their box art with the Pokewalker bundle. Here, the regular boring backgrounds have been replaced with these shiny metallic backgrounds, with Heart Gold featuring the Bell Tower and Ecruteak City, while Soul Silver features the rural islands. It may not have the same effect on camera, but these boxes look stunning in person. These are my absolute favorites as far as the core series goes. And I always liked how if you line them up together, it looks like Ho and Lugia are about to square off in a battle of epic proportions. Now, most other core series titles have also had this same format of the mascots facing each other, Black and White and Fire and Leaf Green notably do an okay job with it, relatively speaking. But here, you can really tell it's time for the kids to get off the playground because stuff is about to get serious. Also worth noting, these are the first Pokemon games in the West where the subtitles got their own proper logos. Every core series Pokemon game in Japan has had their own distinctive logos, most notably you can always tell when a new generation begins and ends based on the style of the logo. But for us, our logos up until this point always just consisted of the stock Pokemon logo with white text underneath that any Joe Schmo could have whipped up in Microsoft Paint in 40 seconds. But ever since Heart Gold and Soul Silver, we've actually gotten proper logos for each new pair of core series Pokemon games. We do still miss out on some things here though. Ever since Gen 5, each mainline Pokemon logo in Japan has included some sort of new symbol from the game itself. The Gen 5 logos are stylized to resemble the newly introduced gym logos in Pokemon Black and White. Pokemon X and Y's Japanese logos include the symbol for Mega Evolution, while Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire include the red and blue orbs. Sun and Moon predictably include a Z crystal in their logos, while Ultra Sun and Moon replace it with the symbol from Necrozma's core, which, fun fact, is also used as the basis for the design of the Island Challenge amulet. And of course, the Japanese logos of Sword and Shield include the new gym logo, which also doubles as the design of the Dynamax band. But oddly enough, this is not the actual logo associated with Dynamax and Gigantamax. But enough with logos, let's finish up with a few more boxes. Pokemon Stadium 2. I don't like it. Stadium 1 has the box art you would expect. It's Charizard and Blastoise battling in glorious 3D in the middle of a stadium. This is exactly what the game is. At a glance, this just looks like Pokemon Gold and Silver 3D. I don't have anything against Ho-Oh and Lugia being on the box. It's clearly trying to communicate that it's Gen 2 compatible, but golly, where's the stadium? Plus, this logo, it's literally the original logo, but they drew an oval underneath and put a 2 inside. A multi-million-dollar franchise commissioned this. Conversely, Pokemon Colosseum. We've already talked about this before, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I like how it articulates itself as a Gen 3 game with Groudon and Kyogre, yet also displays the legendary beasts who are notably unobtainable in Ruby and Sapphire, showing that this game was going to fill in some of the missing pieces. You also have a clear division between your standard 3D battle mode and your story mode. The Pokepark duology. The first one's box art is pretty meh to me, like Pokemon Dash. It's just the standard gather all the Pokemon around like they're willingly taking a picture thing. This is a more overused design approach than Landorus Therian on Showdown. The background also cuts off conspicuously low and just leaves a ton of unappealing white space at the top. Not my cup of tea, personally. But the second game improved immensely, if you ask me. Instead of shoving every possible Pokemon into the frame, this one focuses on just the 4 main playable Pokemon, with the spaces between them being evenly filled with the 4 main game areas. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it's cheerful, colorful, and better embodies the Pokepark series in my opinion. And while I'm personally more of a fan of using 2D art for game covers, it's nice that the 3D models here have aged much better than its predecessor. If you took the label off the top, this could easily fool you for a Wii U or Switch game. And although the English logo is nothing special, the Japanese title of the game is actually Pokepark 2 Beyond the World, with the logo emphasizing the BW, obviously connecting it with black and white. To be honest, I think they could have erased the giant BW in the middle to make it more of an aha moment when you finally realize the connection, but whatever, screw subtlety, I guess. And finally, to end things off, Pokemon Conquest. It's pretty tame, just the usual throw all the main characters onto the box thing, but man, I just love the art style. This is an amazing looking game, and it's great to see some solid 2D drawings as opposed to 3D models. Even if it doesn't try anything new, it's still just really visually pleasing. Anyway, that is a brief overview of the history of Pokemon box art and logos. Let me know down below which box arts do you appreciate the most, and as always, if you enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. I'll see you guys next time.